What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Welcome to the show. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down on like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Punchy.tv. And at any point during the show, you know what you can do. You can call in at 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773, and we can talk about whatever you want. We can get into it. You want to talk about Tyson? You want to talk about boxing? You want to talk about whatever. We can get into it. I'm here for it. Let's get into it. Also, if you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description in YouTube, or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Hit the super chat button there. Send your question or comments. I'll read them live on air and as they come in. You know what I'm saying? So we can have a little fun. Appreciate it. Let's get into it. What are we talking about today? Lord, I got some stuff for you guys. I first want to start it off with talking about the Tyson fight a little bit. Tyson and Jake Paul. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I'm going to just touch on it a little bit. Nothing crazy. Not going to get too deep into that. Great Chef Z with the super chat out the gate on YouTube. Super Monday, starting Monday off right. It lasts all week. That's right. Great Chef Z. Appreciate the super chat. And we're starting out Monday with a bang. Going to Monday with some good momentum. That way it's the start to a good week. I agree, Great Chef. Good point. Right on. Amazing stuff. So I don't know if you guys caught the fight on Netflix. I think everybody in the world caught the fight. Crashed the site pretty much. It was like all blurry and couldn't even... It kept loading. It kept buffering. I was like, what's going on here? But it's fine because you ain't missed much. Because you waited 2 hours pre-show fights. And I watched a few of them, and those were kind of interesting too. The girls fighting and stuff like that. I got some stuff to say about that. But the ladies were fighting. I saw some other pre-show matches. But when it got to Tyson and Jake, it was a mess. I don't even know what else to say about it other than that. It was just a mess. It's all planned out. It's all money. It's all for money. It's all for show. Jake Paul is he boxes, and I guess he's okay, but he's not he don't fight real fighters. Like you don't fight the actual boxers that are actually in the league. And not knocking him for his hustle, you know what I mean? Because he's making money and he's picking people that he knows, him and his team know are going to be a good fight to crash Netflix, right? To crash the sites, the whole Netflix site because so many people are trying to tune in. You know, his team is smart. His team know what they're doing, so I'm not knocking his hustle and making his money and doing what he's doing. But I do got a little bit of problem with him going on interviews and saying that he's a real fighter and nobody can touch him. And, you know, I'm like, well, you're not fighting real fighters. So you can't say that. You can't have both. Say, I'm a YouTuber. I know to make money, but I also am a real fighter. Come on. We got to be real here. So Nothing against Jake Paul. I ain't got nothing against him, but, you know, just be real about it. And Tyson, Lord have mercy, was up there looking old. I don't know. I said it on JLP's show. For one, the whole fight was only like 5 minutes long. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I waited all this time for this 5-minute match. And it was a mess. It was a mess. Tyson was looking old. He looked physically good shape, right? He looked buff and stuff, but his performance was lousy. And like I said on JLP's show, he looked like a tree with no root. Just you tap him, he falling over. Like, that's how he looked like. Like he could barely, didn't even look like he can bend his knees. It was just a bad look. You know what I mean? But he made $20 million off it, allegedly. So he ain't that bad of a look. So, but I don't know. It just was weird. I just felt weird about it. Even the interviews with Mike, felt weird watching the interviews with Mike. I don't know. It was just weird to me. The whole thing was just weird. It was kind of like a waste of time to watch. I almost want to say, because like it just wasn't nothing. It wasn't really nothing. Jake Paul was taking it easy on Mike because he didn't want to hurt him, and that's true. Jake Paul said in the interview, he's like, I didn't want to hurt him, and I felt bad because it didn't look good when I came out, so he took it easy on him, and you could tell he did because Tyson looked a mess. And then it was just like it was just a show. It was just a show. So you got to give the credit for them being able to get that many eyeballs, because I was sure tuning in. You know what I mean? So give credit where it's due, but it ain't a real thing. It ain't a real fight. It ain't about respect and honor and none of that stuff. It's just a show. So that's what I felt about that. But I want to, while I was watching the pre-fights, right? I was watching the pre-fights before it came on, and I was trying to understand. I don't understand the point of all of it. And I can be wrong. That's why I said I'm trying to understand it. But I don't understand the point of boxing. I don't understand it. Because you just get beat up. I'm trying to understand the point. I guess it's a sport, but I don't understand the joy in it. Like getting beat up or beating up other people. I don't understand what the catch is. So if anybody knows, you can call in and let me know. Educate me. Because I just don't see the point. Because I'm looking at these fighters, even the women too, and I'm like thinking like, you look crazy afterwards. Like, let me show you this one guy here. I was thinking like, you guys seen it in my thumbnail. This is Jean-Pierre, I forgot his name, but he used to be an MMA fighter. And his face is not so bad. But still, even that, I'm like, why do I want that? Why do I want that? And I guess some ladies are like, could think that that's attractive, right? Like, oh, he looks tough and stuff like that. But I just don't want my face looking like that. Like he feels pain too. It's not like he's like happy. Like his face is scarred up, beat up. His eyes are all jacked up. Like, I just don't understand why you want to do that to yourself. You know what I mean? Am I alone on this? I just don't get it why you want to, like, it's like abuse. Look at this guy. Look at his eye. These are good shots. You guys, I purposely didn't bring the worst of the worst shots in here because YouTube's sake and for your guys' stomach. Because this ain't nothing. But look at these people. Look at this man. Why do you want to go through that? Like, I don't understand. Is this alpha? Is this an alpha male thing? That's what I'm just asking. Is this supposed to be alpha male to get beat up and to have a big old eye? And you guys got to understand too, these guys have brain damage too. These guys' brains, heads all messed up. I'm talking about like medically. These guys are all like jacked up. They get beat. They're getting hit so much. They got all kinds of issues. Why go through it is what I'm trying to understand. Like, what does it do? What does it prove to people? Like, I understand knowing how to fight and stuff like that so you can protect yourself, defend yourself, and protect your family and blah, blah, blah. But I don't understand the sport because it's abuse. You know what I mean? And a lot of these guys, sometimes I used to like MMA, watching MMA. I don't know what it is about. Maybe there is something entertaining about watching it, but I used to watch it all the time. And I still don't know why I did, but I guess it's entertaining. But I watch some of these guys and they like go hard into like trying to like kill each other. Elbows to the ribs, like elbows to the nose, breaking noses. I'm like, what's the joy in that? I'm just trying to understand it. So then, of course, the ladies had theirs. And then I started thinking more, because the ladies had their boxing matches. And then I started thinking more like, men lead the way in all things. Men lead the way in all things. It doesn't matter if you're beta. It doesn't matter if you're alpha. It doesn't matter if you're omega. Women are following us, period. Whether they're following us to heaven or whether they're following us to hell, they're following us, period. And I realized that even the feminist ones, even the ones that say they don't need a man, even the ones that, all that stuff, they're still following men. Because look at the ones who are independent and feminine. They're trying to be like men. They're still following the men's example. They're not following their own example. Right? They're not creating their own thing. They're following the patterns of men. So women are still following men. So I was thinking like, wow, I'm watching these female boxers get beat up too. I'm like, what makes, it's even worse for the woman. I'm like, what makes a woman want to get beat up? That's like totally going against their nature. At least with men, there's like the hunter or the protector that's in our nature, right? That's not in women. So that's really interesting to see a woman want to get beat up like that. So I was watching, this has been a viral clip that's been going around. And I was thinking, when I saw this the first time, I was thinking exactly what I'm telling you guys right now. When I first saw this, I was just like wondering. This is from Bare Knuckles News on YouTube. Here's a girl who explains how she feels about losing her MMA match. Here we go. Oh, shoot.
Taylor Sterling, how are you feeling, girl? That was a crazy fight.
I'm super excited. It was really tough. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a different ball game, but I had a blast. So
look at her. Look at her face.
It was such a crazy pace. How did you keep that up?
I only have one speed, and that's 150% at all times. So speed is, I live speed and aggression, so I was ready for it.
What surprised you, if anything, about fighting without gloves? Because bare knuckle is so different. It's
bare
such a
knuckle.
Different sport.
The thing that surprised me the most is that small shots hurt really bad.
All of it hurts. Look at your face.
Like, there are big shots that don't hurt as bad, but something as simple as
look at her hand. Look at her hand is swollen beyond measure.
Taking a knuckle, slicing your eyebrow, like a small knuckle definitely hurts a lot more than you think.
Props to your opponent, I think, because she really showed some heart. Did you expect her to really go the 5 rounds?
No, after I knocked her down, I thought I was going to be able to put her away. So she was a lot tougher than I thought. She had a lot of heart. I definitely thought that she was going to get put away and that we weren't going to go the full 5 rounds. But I'm glad we did because I enjoy going, like, taking it all in and taking those 5 rounds and really putting on a show for people because that's what people come for.
You certainly did put on a show for people. There was a lot of
She
back
can't
and
even
forth
smile.
talk.
It's just a thrill. It's just a thrill. It's just a thrill because there's silly things that everybody does that can be relatable to why we do, even though we think, why the heck would anybody even do that? I got them. Everybody got their little thrills that are like silly. But I just be wondering why some thrills go so far. Like, she's beat up. You know what I mean? Like, she is beat up. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But the point is, men lead the way. This was never a normal thing. This was never normal. Women didn't behave in this way. Women didn't pattern after men when it came to fighting and stuff like that. But women are doing now, and it's because men are leading the way. Men are allowing this stuff to happen. Men's anger getting out of control. Men's rage, and women are following the example. I want to be just like the man. It's in them to follow, so they end up following the men to this way. They get buffed like them. They get beat up like them. She's in bare knuckle fighting. No gloves. Just straight. I just don't understand. But let's move on, because I got some other examples of men leading the way. Because the topic today is the fall out of masculinity, right? The fall of masculinity. I don't know why I put out. He black. The fall of masculinity, right? Because I realized that masculinity, true masculinity, inspires femininity, right? If you're really masculine and it's true and it's real, it inspires the woman to want to be feminine. It doesn't inspire to want to be masculine like you. Ladies, am I wrong? Help me out. If I'm wrong, tell me. Is there a temptation in you that wants, if you like somebody, is there a temptation in you to want to be like him? If you see a man and he's real manly, right? Alpha male. Does it inspire you to want to be an alpha male like him? Or does it make you want to be more feminine? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I believe that masculinity, true masculinity, inspires women to want to be feminine. They want to be a woman around you. They want to be feminine. So if they're not being feminine, that means you're not being masculine. Meaning they're not recognizing masculinity, and they're not even recognizing their own. So something's wrong here. And I think it's men. It's us. It's us. I got some more examples, and I'm going to break that down more. Let's keep it moving. So this is from the Daily Mail. You guys all heard of this 4B movement, right? 4B. And the 4B movement is, I guess, women who are shaving their hair and no longer having S sex with men who voted for Trump, right? Something like that. Well, I have a little clip I want to play that explains that. This is from Daily Mail. Interviewer goes on the street to ask women about the 4B movement. Here we go.
Have sex with us then, since we can't have birth control.
After the election results, liberal women are going viral protesting against Donald Trump.
No more kitty cat for moderate men.
No dating, no marriage, no sex, no childbirth. We're going to be out here asking New Yorkers if they think this is too drastic or if it's warranted.
I just don't understand how that correlates with politics, but
Good luck getting laid.
I don't think it's too far.
They're taking back control. Bodily autonomy is a right and shouldn't be
privilege.
I think it's a bit ridiculous and absurd, but to each his own. I'm not knocking it, but
if they are like saying that nobody should do that, then I don't agree.
Do not look at them. Do not laugh at their jokes.
They feel that that's the proper movement, then
Punish the men who voted for Trump, because now we can't get both birth control.
You gotta be a different type of blind to think that you're punishing men by closing for business. By not being out there in the streets. How is that punishing men? And I'm gonna tell you why they think it's that way. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but you're doing men a favor. You're doing yourself a favor, actually. But how so you think you're being hurtful, but you're actually helping yourself? You're actually not being wild and reckless. But the mind is so crazy that it makes you think that this is punishment, but you're actually doing yourself a favor. You're saving your own soul by closing up for business. And you're actually doing the men a favor, because when men do these things, have S with women, their emotions go crazy and out of control, which invokes them more to be angry and overreact and cause more problems in a relationship. So you're actually doing men a favor by closing up for business, and you think it's hurting them, but it's actually helping them. But let's get to the reason why they want to do it. Is they obviously think that it's gonna hurt men, affect men. And in reality it does, because there's us men tend to care about that stuff. And then men will overreact and be like, oh, no, I can't have S. No, don't, come on. And it affects them, right? They're using they're using it against men, right? Because that's what men want. Men want to do the S, right? But fallen men who are unconscious about it, they will see this and feel this and be upset about it, and it'll affect them. It'll affect them. And all that is men giving women false power over these things. Like, that should mean nothing. That should mean nothing. It should almost be so silly that somebody would even say out their mouth that they're going to stop doing that because of said reason. Like, okay, and? Bye. Like, that's not a power move, but it feels like a power move. Why? Because men are leading the way to mess. So we're going to cry about it, and they're going to say, well, no S then. I'm not going to sleep with you then. And men are going to cry about it, and then the women are going to feel this false power, and men not even realizing they're the ones leading them to feel that way. It's a dirty game. I'm telling you. It's a dirty game, but I ain't done. I got some more. I got some more for you. Men leading the way. Men leading the way. This one here was played on the Jesse Lee Peterson show this morning. This from ABC7. Woman/mother arrested for letting her son walk to the store alone. Here we go.
Police body camera video shows the moment Brittany Patterson was arrested for letting her 10-year-old son walk into town by himself.
What am I under arrest for?
For reckless endangerment.
And how was I recklessly endangering my child?
We're not talking about it.
On October 30th, Patterson said she took one of her children to the doctor. In the meantime, her son, Soren, who since turned 11, decided to walk less than a mile into town from their home in rural Mineral Bluff, Georgia. While out, Patterson got a call from the sheriff's department, worried that Soren was walking alone.
I wasn't concerned. I wasn't, panicking or concerned because it's just a short walk from our house. He knows how to get home. He knows how to get there.
Authorities dropped Soren off at home, and 5 hours later, they returned.
Call mommy and tell them they're taking you to jail because you decided to walk down the street.
Let go of your hands.
That's not his fault.
Yeah, call mommy.
You're the mother. That's your responsibility.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store. So.
It is when they're 10 years old.
Patterson was booked on suspicion of reckless conduct, a charge that could carry 1 year in jail.
I'm done with it. It's crazy. But the point I want to point out there is it's the women cops. The women cops are the one that are arresting this mother, right? It's clear and evident to most men. Most men would not care about that. Even the beta ones, they would not care about to see the boy walking down the street in the country, right? They wouldn't care. That's what boys wander. They go to the store. They walk, especially at 10. Not a big deal. We live in a different society, so if you let a young girl go out there, which is not abnormal, but today you got a lot of crazy, creepy people, creepy men. So you want to raise your eyebrow a little bit at that, but with the young boy in the country, you just, it's not even a big deal at all. But the woman cops, they saw it and they overreacted to it. The woman cops. But why are they even there in the first place? Why are they upholding the law? Another example, a fall of masculinity. Another example, men led the way to that. Men allowed the women to get in there and run the show. Men allow women to have the desire to want to run the show. Men allowed it. Men let it happen. And boom, now we got women police officers not letting young boys go walk to the store. Women are responsible for themselves. So it's not like you only point the finger at men, but this wouldn't happen if men were men. This would not happen. It just wouldn't happen. If enough men were men, it wouldn't happen because we wouldn't care if they cried about it. This is not fair. It's not fair. We wouldn't care if they cried about it because we knew what was best for them. And guess what? After they cried about it, they would get over it and be like, oh, shoot, he's right. He's right. That's not what I want to do. What the? And then the ones who still rebelled will go off and suffer and die somewhere. Right? They will go suffer and die somewhere. And you let them be, whatever. Boom. But it's not the case. And men led the way. Lord, I'm going to take some calls on this. I have more clips. I can go on all day about this one. I got more clips, but I'm going to chill for a second. And I got more I want to say about this, but I'm going to stop for a minute and take some calls on this, maybe some super chats. And we'll get into it. Lord have mercy. It's a mess. Let me go to Terry out of Oregon. Terry, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, yay. Hi, Joel.
How's it going, Terry?
All right. How are you?
All is well. Can't complain.
Man, I wanted to call in about the women doing the combat sports, but that last story you just played blew my mind.
Oh, yeah. Oh, which one with the cops?
10-year-old, yeah. A 10-year-old can't go to the store, and they said, what, it's half a mile?
It's half a mile, and
half a mile is nothing.
I know.
To walk?
And he's in the country, and they're in the country. It's not like they're in the city.
My mind is blown by that. Like, what's happened? Like, when I was growing up, like me and my friends and everything, we were outside, going anywhere, walking around. Like, my dad would send me to the store like more than half a mile. He'd be like, "Go get me this." Like, like what?
As a
By
matter
the
of
age of 10, you should have some level of independence as a kid.
Exactly.
They're like really mommying kids to like.
Yeah.
It's no wonder society's getting so like, I don't know, immature because kids have no sense of independence. But for it to be
spoiled.
legally an issue, I mean, I thought it was just parents being helicopter parents, but apparently it's a legal issue now.
It's crazy. It's crazy because I remember even growing up, just for me, was my friend lived half a mile down the streat. So I would be walking back and forth to his house, or I would ride my bike down to his house because we had a big neighborhood. So I had friends all over the neighborhood. There were some that were close, that were far. We would ride the bike. We would go to the park on our own. Like these weren't like issues to where parents were afraid of the consequence. No, that's just what you did.
Yeah, it was totally normal for a kid to. You didn't think anything of it. I'm just kind of amazed. Man, that poor woman. I hope this gets dropped because that's just wild. But okay, sorry. I guess I wanted to make a comment about like women doing these extreme combat sports.
Yeah.
I knew a woman who was doing Krav Maga like training, and she ended up in a training getting her hand broken. Like she was studying under a man, and she was holding up a mat for him to kick, and he like missed the mat and kicked her hand and broke it.
Oh.
Yeah. She was, I don't know, kind of thinking about it now and like reflecting on it. She was a super paranoid person, and she was like very fearful of like male violence. Her home was all like rigged up with all this security stuff, even though like nobody was coming for her. I don't know. I think some of it is like maybe a lack of, like they don't feel protected, so they want to feel as tough as possible.
Oh, so you're saying that she went and did, just to make sense of the story. So she went and got involved in martial arts because she was a fearful and scary type of person.
I think so, and I think maybe she just didn't have any like male protection in her life, so she felt like she had to like be as tough as possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with like martial arts per se. Like women have been doing martial arts forever, but like this kind of like extreme like beating each other up, boxing and like grappling and sparring stuff is a bit different than, I don't know.
Well, it's almost like it almost feels like a lack of security within, because I remember growing up, I used to think that, and for a long time, I used to think that if I just become a wrestler or a boxer, then it'll make me tougher or make me feel more manly. But no, that's not the answer. It's that something within you feels empty, right? Whatever the situation is, you're judging something, whatever, and something within is empty, and that's what needs to be fulfilled, not you learning a skill set to fight or to shoot a gun, or all those things you're still gonna have fear with those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with learning those things, because to have a skill on certain things, like I imagine that's a great thing, but it's not like gonna save people from their fear,
No, yeah, and she had all kinds of other fear too. When I look back at it, she was afraid the world was gonna end due to climate change and like all this other stuff. So yeah, she was tripping on a lot of different paranoias. But yeah, it is sad. Women are really more delicate than they realize, and they kind of puff themselves up, and they get into these sports, and they think that they're gonna like be able to defend themselves against anything. But like when it came down to it, like a guy just by his sheer physical build, you know, is gonna do you damage. That's not being able to defend yourself is one thing, you know, if you can, but like don't think you're stronger than you are. Don't think you're not as, you know, fragile as you are.
Right. And yeah, not trying to.
You're not built like a man. You're not. Your muscles and skeletons are not built like a man. You're just not gonna have that force.
Let me ask you, Terry. Why do you think, in your opinion, women tend to get really involved with this type of stuff, like boxing or MMA, and like take it to like a status that is what it is today?
I mean, I think part of it is like the lack of feeling a masculine protection or covering in their life. So I think maybe not a good relationship with a father or brothers or like close male family. For some of it can also be like feminism or like a distrust of men generally. Yeah. Like an overreaction to that. And then, I don't know, it's also like, there's also, we get into a lot of the women involved in it are also like lesbians as well. Yeah. So it's like the community thing. They get to network. Yeah.
That's interesting because, so would you think it's all a result of a rejection of the man in some way or form?
I think it is, but subconsciously they're yearning for that protection, and they think that they can take that on themselves and become the masculine protector that they never had. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. That makes sense.
So they think if they become tough and they can fight, and you know they're more trained and understanding of like how to fight, you know, if they get randomly attacked by a guy, they'll be able to defend themselves or something.
Yeah. Interesting. That makes sense.
But I don't know that they're thinking it out that clearly all the time. I think it's just like subconscious yearnings and drivings within them that they don't fully understand.
Right. Like a fear that's eating away at them that they may not even fully understand.
Yeah. I think they know they're afraid, but I don't think they know that they're afraid because they never had like that strong masculine role model or protection, or if they did, it was like they feel their father failed them or something. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, Terry. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's a mess. The woman cops and all that stuff, and the girls, and it's a mess. My last question for you, then I got to move the calls, is do you think that this is all due to men dropping the ball or no?
I mean, men are human beings. You can't like blame them for everything, you know? And if you forgive, I mean, that's why you have to forgive as an individual. Like, your personal father may have, you know, failed you in your eyes or something, but like, you also have to look and understand that he was a human being and that he could only do so much, and that, you know, I don't know. I think it's more than that. You could say men are failing, but I think women maybe put too much expectation on men too.
That's true, but do you think that if men were strong, right, men overcame and returned back to not perfection, right, but just returned back to just masculinity and doing the right thing and blah, 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 do you think that we would even have these problems that we have now? Would masculine men let women do these things or allow them to take over in this way?
Do things like play silly sports?
Yeah, like or would they even want to? Right, like play like I don't even want to be a cop or play be a professional MMA fighter would they even want to do that if men were strong and tough?
I don't know, because I think there's something in women that's all desires to rebel a little bit. So I don't know, like, and I don't think that what we're facing in our society today is anything that hasn't been faced in the past. I think maybe it just looks different. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't say for sure what would happen if men became, more masculine again.
Yeah.
I think, women would probably become more feminine.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
Because I think too, and then let me know what you think, and then I gotta move on. Is if a wife has a desire to rebel, right, and she has that in her to just be rebellious, but the husband was strong or tough or put his foot down.
Yeah.
Don't you think that the wife would think twice when she wants to be rebellious, knowing that the consequences of her rebelliousness from the man would keep her from actually doing it, not out of fear, but out of respect, but also a little bit of fear of his authority? Don't you think that would be the case, and she would just say, you know what, I'm a chill?
I think that definitely is the case in those type of situations I've seen. Like, I'm thinking of my own family and women in my family who are a bit, I guess, what's the word? They're kind of just spirited,
Oh, okay.
But I know, for the ones that are married to masculine men, like they don't rebel against their man. Even if they have like an argument or something, they eventually submit, because they trust him and, he is leading, and they know that like they can trust him to continue to lead.
Yeah.
So even if they have like a disagreement or like, rebellious streak or anger or something, it'll dissipate once they kind of come to reason,
Yeah.
They have to like work out their feelings and whatnot. But
yeah,
when you have a man that's leading, it's like you kind of don't really, I don't know, like,
yeah.
I'm just like trying to compare, because I know some women that are married to men that don't lead, and like they're always sparring, they're always fighting. But in the other relationships, the women just they'll have their little disagreement, but then they'll submit because he's reliable.
Right. And because that rebelliousness can't face off against strength, right? Strength will always put it in its place, and not even necessarily in this like dominating, disrespectful way, but it just can't face off against strength. So any rebelliousness that would come up for a man that's strong, it'll just cower in its presence. So that's why I don't see it as a battle actually happening if the man is strong, because he's gonna dominate if he's truly strong.
Well, he just makes things happen.
Right, right.
A masculine man just makes things happen.
Right.
So he may want to do something, and she's like, oh, I don't know, but like he's already setting the wheels in motion, and it's happening.
Right.
And she, as a result, like, just he has the mindset that, this is the team, and he's been leading for years, so they keep going. I don't know. It seems to work.
Yeah, 100%. Terry, right on. What the?
Right on. What?
I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate the conversation too. Thank you, Terry.
Good to talk to you. Take care.
You as well, Terry. Have a good one. Nice. Yeah, good points. Good points. But I want to say too, ultimately, I'll get back to the calls. Ultimately, what I think it is, what I believe it really is insecurity, a lack of security, a lack of knowing yourself, a lack of knowing who you are, an emptiness. Because we only reach outward because we feel weak inwards. Because I remember myself for a long time. I was like, man, like when I used to think that I wanted to be a better man, like a strong man, like even that idea is crazy, right? Like I want to be a tough man. That idea is crazy. The idea comes from insecurity, right? And I remember thinking that, and I used to feel that way. And I used to think like, man, I want to do boxing, or I want to become a cop, right? Because I was thinking at the same time that by doing this, it would make me tougher or something. It would make me more masculine. It would make me more manly. But I didn't realize at the time that that was just me trying to compensate for what was lacking within, right? Is me trying to think something physically is going to change something inwardly. It's just not how it works. It's not going to work. If you feel weak, nothing outwardly can make you feel strong. It has to be within. So when these women or men are reaching outwards for these things and they're involved in all these things that seem weird, they seem weird to me. I don't understand them. But to want to be okay with fighting and be tough and all this stuff, to me, it just feels like a compensation, right? Trying to make up for something that is missing. Because I don't think no real man has any desire to want to fight anybody. You know what I mean? No real man has no desire to want to be seen as tough. Could you imagine Jesus sitting up there like this in a corner? Like, like I just don't quite understand it. I don't hear people. I'm too fragile. It's just not productive. I don't understand. Why do I want to be beat up? I used to play football, and this is my last story. I'll get back to call. I used to play football, and that was one thing because I was young, so I played it. Blah blah blah. You get hit, you get up, boom. But when I in my adult years, I started getting into this league, flag football. I played flag football. And I'm real competitive. So if I get involved, I get involved. So I was doing the most, right? And I would catch the ball, run, spin, block. And then I hurt my knee. I had to get knee surgery. I hurt my knee because I was taking it too serious. But anyway, the point is that I hurt my knee but couldn't go to work the next week. I had to take work off because I had to get knee surgery. Couldn't work. So I'm like, what did I prove out there? I didn't prove anything out. Now my knee is hurt, but we won, but now I can't walk. I'm not understanding the trade-off there. I'm not understanding. But maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm missing something. Let me go to Lucas out of Los Angeles. Lucas, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yo, what's up, Joel? How are you doing?
How's it going, Lucas?
I'm doing well. Hey,
Right.
I don't agree with what you're saying about that. Like, in any which way or form, like, that men are the reason why women are acting the way or doing what they're doing.
Fair enough. Why not?
Because first of all, a lot of people in general, not just women, but a lot of people can just see and relate and then just act like, they have superstars or whatever, and they just learn that stuff and they just act that way. And, social media is a big thing. Like, I don't see how men, like, what am I supposed to do? I go meet a girl and then, like, she's insane, so I'm not going to be with her. and then I'm gonna walk away. But that she's still an insane woman. Like, it's not like I could teach her anything. She's insane. Like,
Well,
what am I supposed to do? Go out there and teach women to not be insane? Like, I believe that the woman's gonna do what the woman's gonna do.
I think there's truth to that. That at the end of the day, if every single man was masculine, then that doesn't mean that every single woman would fall in place and they wouldn't rebel and do these things, right? Because evil does exist and people do. But I'm just saying that it wouldn't be as in control as it is now, because like using the wife in the home with the husband is the rebelliousness can't stand against the true strength. It can't. The true strength will always win because it's just an actual power, while the rebelliousness is just a fake deception. So unless the fake deception is believed into, then that's the only way it can control and have power. But if true strength is among it, it always loses. It'll always lose. So if enough men were around being tough and being strong and letting no mean no, then we wouldn't see it on this scale is what I think.
So, but that's not possible. You agree with that?
Why not?
Like every man in the world,
Yeah, that's not possible for sure. But but even if enough men, even if a small amount of men were to overcome and stood their ground, then women would be quickly put in their place, and they wouldn't be able to run schools or become cops or be a president, even think they could be a president.
Trump is hiring a lot of women. So what do you think about that?
You said Trump is hiring a lot of women. I don't necessarily agree with it. You know,
I love Trump. I'm a Trump supporter all the way, but
me too.
But yeah, like, I mean, you know, I do think it's smart to have like a very sassy, hot press secretary. That's a good idea, but like, I'm just saying. I mean, it does get to their head. I mean, I don't know, but who knows?
Well, given the time that we live in right now, where women are involved, I almost want to say that, you know, it's better to have choose the lesser evil, right? And allow, like, say if Trump is picking somebody like Kristi Noem, who tends to be conservative and a little bit maybe more grounded than like somebody on the left, right? Like you of course you want to choose the better choice, but in the bigger picture, I would just like it best if women just were women. But I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm not saying it's evil or whatever, but it is what it is.
No, yeah, I like how you broke it down. Now I got like you answered my question and everything, because I thought you were going too far overboard, but no, you're.
Well, what do you think? What do you think that I'm saying? Really quick.
Oh, I thought you were giving like an excuse for women to like act the way they're acting.
Oh, I see. And then, but what do you understand that I'm saying now?
Oh, now it's you're not giving an excuse for the way they're acting. They still got to take responsibility.
Yeah, for sure. Well, right on, Lucas. I appreciate you calling in and to call that out. So I appreciate it.
No, for sure, man. Thank you for taking my call, dude.
All right, man. Have a good one. Nice. I don't know. It's not like I'm blaming men, but then I'm kind of blaming men. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not blaming men because men are not responsible for women's actions, right? But then I'm also kind of blaming men. You know what I mean? Because we have the authority. We have the authority. And it ain't no braggadocious thing. What the? It's just a reality. So when the authority is gone, the people run wild. That's just how it goes. The light is out, so everyone's in the dark. Not knowing where to go, they can't see. The light is gone. And that's what we're seeing in the world right now. Just the light is gone. The light is turned out. So nobody knows where they're going. And they're thinking it, and the crazy thing is that they're pretending that they are. That's Satan is busy. Lost in the dark, but pretending that you can see is the worst. The absolute worst. And that's why I preach so much to be honest. Be honest with yourself, even if you think that what you're doing is so bad. It's not. It may be evil, right? And you shouldn't do it. You learn to overcome it, but you shouldn't be judging yourself for it. But even if you see yourself as doing the bad, you be honest about it. Like, yeah, I can see I'm doing it. Because that is what helps you to overcome it, is repentance, admitting it, being honest about it. So then God can work on you and take it away. But people be running around in the dark and in denial because of fear that if they admit and really be honest with themselves that they're going to feel like a bad person or they're going to be depressed. Like fear, it's just fear. But no, that's when God sets you free, is when you're honest about it. So men are leading the way in this, and men need to overcome. Us men got to overcome. We got to overcome even a mood. Even a bad mood in your home creates a bad mood for the people under you. Even a bad mood. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was like, what the? A mood? You got a bad mood, it changes the house bad mood. House got a bad mood. Even a mood. That's why we got to learn to overcome. And men, you have to find yourself. Find yourself. That's the way to overcome. And that's not perfection. Find yourself so you can root yourself in God, in your true nature. That's what the point is. So you can ground yourself, and then God will build on that. And keep in mind that ladies are following us no matter what, period. Ladies are following you. Whether you decide you want to overcome or not, the ladies are following you. Every single last lady on this earth is following every single last man on this earth. No matter you decide it's to heaven or hell, they're following. So just know that too. But true masculinity, and then I'm done. True masculinity inspires femininity. It'll inspire them to want to just be a female around you, because they just see it, they recognize it, and they just want to just follow suit. I ain't making this up. So I don't know. Anyway, I gotta end, y'all. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me check and see real quick. I gotta end though, because it is past time. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. IG, Facebook, Instagram. Shout out. Joel be cussing. I cussed? I didn't cuss. Lucas said, love you, ladies. Yeah, ladies, we love you. And you know, be patient with this as we're overcoming. Be patient. We trying. Amazing stuff. Shout out to the chats across the board. Facebook, IG, YouTube. Amazing stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back here tomorrow for some more stuff. We'll get into some more stuff. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the world? But I appreciate you guys for tuning in anyway. Until next time, guys. Punchy TV, brand new episode today at 2 p.m. with myself as one of the co-hosts, along with my other co-hosts here on the network, the JLP network. Make sure you guys check that brand new episode at 2 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to redirect you straight over there. You can wait in the waiting room. You don't want to miss the episode. We got into some stuff. So make sure you guys subscribe and share Punchy TV on YouTube. And American Anchor Baby is coming in at 4 p.m. today. Don't miss his show. You know the lineup. You know what's going on Mondays. Until next time, y'all, I got to go. Bye.